G'day folks, and welcome to Robbie's River Roundup for Friday the 27th of February 2015, proudly brought to you by Adventure Camping and Fishing at 14 Rowan Street, Wangaratta. This is the last river roundup for summer because it's autumn in a couple of days. I'm on the banks of the Ovens River, just upstream of Wangaratta in the nice clear water, and this is an ideal stretch of water for fishing with surface lures, and I'm going to talk about surface lures in a second. But first I'm going to tell you about the horse. Well, the plastic horse. The man walked into the doctor and he walked in funny like this. And he said, "Doctor, I've got a problem. I've got a horse stuck up my backside." So they took him straight to the hospital where his condition has been described as stable. Get it? Horses live in stables, not bums. Anyway, how the river's looking. Away from all the stables, the rivers are looking quite good. We had some isolated thunderstorms, and there have been pretty severe thunderstorms this week, so there's been some pretty heavy rain, but in small sections. There's been sections of dirty water, but they've filtered out a little bit, and on the whole, all the rivers and creeks are looking quite good, except the creeks, the smaller streams are looking very, very low. And we had those big thunderstorms on, was it last Monday, I think. I worked all Saturday, worked all Sunday, worked all Monday. I'm thinking, I'm going to go out tonight and go fishing. I just cannot wait any longer. And then we had that big storm come through. By the time I got to the bank of the King River, the wind had swung around. It was coming from the south. The intense shower had made the water a real grey sort of a colour and come up a couple of inches. And I fished for an hour and I just thought, nah, I'm flogging a dead horse here, so I went home. When I say I'm flogging a dead horse, it wasn't the horse that guy went to the hospital with either. I just knew conditions were crap. That was Monday. It's now Thursday and that water has cleared out, it's stretched out, it's diluted and it's gone. The thunderstorm was only in a small part of the catchment right where I happen to be fishing close to Wangaratta. So it's cleared out. So on the whole the rivers are looking really good. Even here where I am on the Ovens River, I'm only 3 or 4 k's upstream from Wangaratta and the river's really clear. It's already cleared out here and it's looking great. Hopefully we get some rain to look after these trout streams. At the moment the trout will be sitting in the bottom of the deep holes sulking. The days are getting shorter, the water temperature will slowly be starting to come down now and eventually it'll cool down enough for them to come out feeding, but while the creeks aren't flowing or not flowing much, they won't feed much. They'll sit in the bottom of them holes and sulk until we get a good flush of rain, and we will get one at some stage in the next couple of months no doubt, but when or where we don't know. Hopefully it's not too far away. So the rivers and creeks are all looking good. Let's talk about surface lures. I've got a few down here. This is a bassman buzzbait. It goes across the water, it goes brrrr. I can't really mimic it here. You can hear that makes quite a lot of noise. This is a mimic's buzzbait. On the water, both of these buzzbaits make a great noise and cause a lot of disturbance, and the fish can see or feel or sense them from a long way away. They're great in murky waters, great in waters that aren't real deep. They both sink. The mimic sinks quicker than the bassman. So the bassman's are probably a bit better in the fact that it sits higher, but the mimic's is probably a bit better and it's got a nice full body, it's quite heavy and it'll cast a bit further. So you've got to weigh them up, but they're both really good and they're ideal for dirty water. I like dirty and cloudy water. They'll still work in clear water, but I prefer them in dirtier coloured waters. And the downside, as with most tongue twister, as with most buzz baits, is that they will sink. Okay, now this is a Z-Man soft plastic pop frog, or pop frogs with a Z as they say. Z-Man, Z-Man, depends what part of the world you come from. They have to be rigged with a special jig head called a TT headlocks, I think is the one. They are ideal in clear waters and places like this where you want something natural, something that's not too intrusive, something that's just nice and subtle, swims across the water. This doesn't make a lot of noise. Those buzzbaits make a lot of noise. This doesn't. In murky waters they will work, but I think they come into their own in sections of really clear water where the fish are a bit more switched on and you can get the green olive colours. I just grabbed this one off the shelf in my shed, my fishing shed at home, and I left. But this actually, it's quite dirty, it almost looks like a natural colour. It's gathered a bit of dust. But you can grab the nice olive coloured ones and green coloured ones. Some of them have a bit of a pattern and you cannot get anything looking more natural than that across the water. natural presentations with any sort of lure fishing come into their own when you're fishing in areas of high fishing traffic or high fishing pressure, or really clear water or smaller waterways. They come into their own. This is my favourite. This is the Coolabung Codwalker. It's what they call a paddler. It's got the bib that goes out the sides of the lure here, and going through the water goes plop, 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 plop. They cast quite well, and they're the best all-rounder of the lot. In areas of high fishing traffic and clear water and stuff, they're probably not as effective as what the Z-Man is, because it's not as natural looking. In murky water, where you need the maximum vibrations, it's probably not as effective as what the buzzbaits are. But as a general all-rounder, I really like these paddlers, and I really like the Coolabung because I find they cast very well. The Kingfisher Mantis is what my best friend Sandy Hector uses. That's his favourite, and that's a great lure, and he's caught a lot of fish on that as well. With surface lures of any kind, it all comes down to personal preference. Some have got great reputations. There's a whole heap of different manufacturers on the market these days, but it all comes down to personal preference. I like the Coolabung Codwalkers. I just find I get that better hookup rate. Most people that have used surface lures to catch Murray cod know what it's like to get that boof, then you don't get the fish. Sometimes it'll go boof, boof, hit it 3 or 4 times and it's very exciting, but they don't always hook up. I find the Coolabung just has that slightly better hookup rate. With any sort of lure, if you are finding your hookup rate's a bit low, something you can do is add an additional split ring on the back. You can see you've got the lure, then you've got the split ring and the hook. You can actually put a second split ring on the back and just make that back hook sit that little bit lower in the water, and that can actually help with your hookup rates. Some lures actually have 2 pieces, they're jointed. The Kingfisher Mantis is a jointed lure, but there's quite a few jointed lures and people like them. Some people like them better. As I said, it comes down to personal preference. Some people like the fact that the back half of the lure sits lower in the water and has a higher hookup rate. But if you want something that's sitting lower in the water, you can always try a buzzbait, because we know they sink, so you can just slow them down so they sink a little bit lower. So in a nutshell, we've got the soft plastics. Z-Man's a good example that I've got here for natural presentation. The buzzbaits for the maximum vibrations, the maximum disturbance. And the Coolabung Codwalker is a great all-rounder. Kingfisher Mantis, the Ballista Hunchback is another good one. They're just a great all-rounder. Now a spot like this I like. It is quite deep on that bank over there, but it's not deep all the way across. It's a big sort of a, I'll go this side. It's a big sort of a sandbar, gravel bar over here, and it's just got a gently undulating bank before it drops away against the deep edges. Of an evening, the cod will come out from under the deep water and move into these shallow waters to feed, and you'll find you'll catch them over here in a foot of water, 18 inches of water after dark. Somewhere like this, you can walk down in pitch black and you can just cast as far as you like, and you're not going to hook anything. And the cod, as I stated, will have moved out from the deep water into the shallow water. And if you're going to be in that shallow water and it's quite clear, I'd be going for a natural presenting soft plastic like the Z-Man or the Coolabung. If the water was murky, say I was over the Broken River or somewhere like that where the water's always cloudy, or even the King River just over the side here, and it's a bit dirty, then you'd go for something like a buzzbait that's going to send out a lot of vibration. So I hope you picked up a few tips. I hope you have a great week. Good luck on the water if you go cod fishing in this area, northeast Victoria. The rivers couldn't be better. All of them are looking really good. Even the Key was looking fantastic. I saw it the other day. If you're going trout fishing, choose your location carefully, because some of the smaller creeks are really struggling for water. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. I was cast out there into the open. Here I am in the very stretch of water where I only 4 or 5 hours ago filmed this week's river roundup. And I made that surface lure comparison or demonstration. I'm now out in that exact spot. I've opted for the Coolabung Codwalker. I've chosen the bigger size than what I showed in my river roundup earlier, because I want the extra casting weight. I've got my older rod, my NS1s, which casts a lot further. Nice big open bit of water. The long rod, the heavier lure. And I am quite literally, when I cast out, I'm going for gold. Hold the lure up against the sky, yep, nice and straight, not tangled. Now heave that bad boy out. That wasn't cool. Got him. Yeah, on the top. Ooh, a bit of weight in this fish too. Yeah, beauty. Now there is the Coolabung codwalker. There's my torch. I chose the Coolabung here. It's a good lure. It's a good all-round lure. The water's nice and clear, but not super clear. It's quite a high traffic area. Oh yeah, it's not as big as I thought. Look at that, the poor bugger. He's actually hooked in the back. He's hooked in the mouth, but because it's such a long lure, the lure has also hooked him in the back. And I've hooked myself. I can't get my torch out of my pocket. There we go. Look at that. There he is. This is all a bit awkward here. I always carry my pliers in my pocket when I do this, and my lip grips, but for some reason today I've had a bit of a brain fart and I've left it in my bag, so just bear with me. I won't even get a measurement. I'll just put him back. I've got the pliers out and over here. Right. There you are, greenfish. There he is. And you can see there that he's actually hooked above the eye. I won't even have to touch this fish. Got one hook in his skin. Now he's free. He hasn't realised he's free. There he goes. Look at that. Go little cod. Go buddy. Off you go. Off you go. Off you go. Look at that. Isn't that just delightful? That is an absolute delight to see that little Murray cod swimming back there. He'll go and sit under that log there for a while now, most likely, and become completely invisible. Remember I spoke earlier today about really clear areas. I like the natural look. Dirty waters, I like the buzz baits or chatterbaits. They're buzz baits which make a lot of noise. In these sort of waters, average sort of waters, I like these Coolabung codwalkers. They're a great all-rounder, as I just proved. Thank you, Mr. Murray Cod. You came along right on cue just to put a little bit more boof into my river roundup. Wonder how he's going. If the doctor was here, he'd probably describe his condition as being stable.